All right, I got a great example of market manipulation within sports betting. Looking at this line history on the Browns Chiefs game, this is the line history at Circa Sportsbook in Las Vegas. That's the first important piece of this puzzle when analyzing the market, identifying the types of sportsbooks. There's sharp sportsbooks and square sportsbooks. How they operate and manage risk, and who they cater to is kind of what determines the type of sportsbook. Circa happens to be considered one of the sharp sports books. If we look at the bottom there, we can see they first opened up betting lines for this total on December 9th, Monday morning, with a total of 42.5. Within 10 minutes of opening this line, they adjusted up to 44 and eventually reached 46 Monday afternoon. It's a 3.5 point adjustment in roughly 4 hour span. This is significant for a few reasons. One being that it's an adjustment up. An adjustment down could, be explained by a key player injury like a quarterback. But with the total moving up, we must assume it's related to bets and not just recreational bets either, but bets made by respected sharp bettors. But this is Monday, shortly after lines open, so this means betting limits are at their lowest. So we can rule out it being some sharp bettor betting 100K at the window. And when I say limits are low, I'm talking like max bet on totals, depending on the sportsbook, could be 2 or 3,000. It's a common misconception that bettors can just walk into a sportsbook at any time and bet whatever they want. Sportsbooks have max bet limits, and they're different on every sport, every bet type, and every day of the week. So for NFL, early in the week when lines first open up, they're at their lowest because the books are less confident in their numbers. Information about the game is still uncertain because it's still a week away. So if limits are low, how did the line move? Well, it's not just bets made at Circa, but bets across the market from accounts that have been profiled sharp, and they bet at books on screen, meaning books on the live odds screen to get the attention of all the other books. Even the square sports books that didn't even receive bets on this over will move their totals up because they just copy line moves at the sharp sports books. And a quick story about this that actually got like a lot of attention at the time and got a lot of sportsbook managers in hot water. Some of you might even remember this. Years ago, Bet Chris, which is widely considered one of the sharpest sports books, posted a second half total to the WNBA All-Star game. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I want to say they posted like 188, but it was supposed to be something closer to like 108. It was a line error of like 70 or 80 points off. Bet Chris made a mistake, and this WNBA All Star game was during a time or at a night when no other sporting events were on, so this was actually getting a ton of attention. Anyway, Bet Chris opens the second half total incorrectly, and the entire betting market basically copied this second half opener. It exposed all the sports books who just copy lines from sharp books. Sportsbooks have traders and odds makers who are supposed to run their numbers, their calculations, however they come up with lines, but most of them take a shortcut and just copy from sportsbooks with smarter people making lines. Everyone knows they do this, but this put a bullseye right on the sportsbooks that do it. It was a big deal at the time, but back to the topic at hand. All right, the entire market has now adjusted this total up to as high as 46.5 at some books, all by Monday afternoon. Now comes the patience here, waiting till the betting limits increase at the sports books to come back and fire away on the under, which is their true position. What's funny is, during this week on social media or on podcasts on Tuesday and Wednesday, I kept seeing all the talks about the sharp money being bet on the over in this Chiefs Browns game. And if you're looking at the line movement at that point in time, that's what you'd think. You wouldn't know that the under is about to be bombed on come Thursday unless you have seen these patterns before, or if you create your own numbers and know that the over steam just made no sense when you make the total 43 and it's being bet up to 46. Your spidey senses would tingle. I picked off the under as soon as I saw the first tick down to 45. Now, does it always work out this way? Of course not. This just happened to be a time where it did work out for me. Now, the hard part for these sharp groups who manipulate the market is Once you move the screen like that and get the number adjusted, it is now waiting till limits increase, because there's, of course, other groups or other bettors that realize 46 is just way too high and there's value on the under, and they might not care about waiting till limits increase. Their bet appetite might be smaller. And they're okay with betting 2,000 across 5 or 10 different sports books. So that's what you see this total start to do, is trickle down from 46 on Tuesday morning. It goes to 45.5. By Wednesday, it's around 44.5. Now, I personally don't even ever have to worry about bet limits, but this is a very frustrating part for the sharp groups that manipulated the number up to 46. They spent money to get that total up to 46. Now, there used to be some sort of unwritten rule that you do wait until limits max out later in the week, but those days are gone. By Thursday, the next limit increase comes and the under gets hit again. And then on Friday and Saturday, the under gets hit again down to 41.5. So the sharp groups or group probably spent 50K betting the over to dummy the total up to 46 early in the week when limits were low. But eventually, we're betting 20 or 25K a pop across all the sports books on the under all day, late Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on their true position. Market analysis is a huge part of what I try to teach inside the Discord community I run. There's over 100 different lessons on various topics, mostly going over examples, reading an odd screen. I also have a bunch of YouTube videos on how to read an odd screen if you're interested in that. But if you're interested in taking your sports betting to the next level, you won't do it by finding a pick seller on a hot streak or buying picks. You'll do it by learning how to identify sharp bets yourself. There's no shortcuts to this. Just like everything else in this world, you get out what you put in. I do charge $50 for 90 days, and it's 90 days from the day you join. It gets you pro membership to the Discord, which is full access to all the channels, features, and tools. You won't find any 100-unit whale plays or guaranteed winners. And you could even learn what I'd teach you by reading a bunch of books and spending years reading a live odds screen. Or you could exchange money for that time and accelerate the learning process, and I'll teach you what took me 20 years to learn in way less time. There's members that have joined without having a clue what analyzing the betting market is, and now there's nothing I can even show them that they don't know. The invite link to join is in the bio or the description of this video. Hope to see some of you in there. Any questions, comment below. Until next time, good luck with your bets.